Hello and welcome to Rev Sports. Joining me today is Abhishek Mishra from Delhi outside of the JLN Stadium and Shomik Chakrabarti from Ahmedabad from the Narendra Modi Stadium. Now, just because the Asia Cup has come to an end doesn't mean that sports has come to a standstill. Of course, in India today, the Women's World Cup kicked off with an incredible opening ceremony and a match between India and Sri Lanka. On the other hand, we've got World Parathletics Championships going on in Delhi at the JLN Stadium. And of course, we're also building up to the India versus West Indies Test Series that starts on Thursday. Let me get updates from my guests who have joined the show. Abhishek, starting with you. Yogesh Kathunia को आज सिल्वर मिला है उनके बारे में बताइए ना ऑफ कोर्स इससे पहले कि आप योगेश की बात कर रहे हैं उससे पहले ये बताइए कि क्राउड का बिल्डअप कैसा है दिल्ली में क्योंकि पैरा स्पोर्ट्स आजकल काफी हाईलाइटेड रहा है न्यूज में भी एंड पीपल हैव टेकन अ लाइकिंग टू इट पीपल आर नाउ वेरी वेल अवेयर ऑफ पैरा स्पोर्ट्स हाउ इज द बिल्डअप लाइक ओवर देयर
I think crowd is still an issue. It's a huge stadium. Still, you will find some families are attending the match, and I mean, if I have to calculate, it's not more than 1,000 or 2,000 maximum. That's the average crowd is coming. Para sports is yet to attract so much audience. So it is still a work on progress. But yeah, Indian players are performing really good. आज सुबह कथुनिया का मेडल आया, सिल्वर मेडल आया, एंड वो खुद भी बात कर रहे थे तो वो बोल रहे थे कि ये मेरा प्लैटिनम गोल्ड है बिकॉज हर बार वो सिल्वर पे ही अटक जाते हैं. अभी इंडिया के चांसेस अच्छे हैं बिकॉज अभी जैवलिन थ्रो के 2 मैचेस हैं, F44 एंड F64, एंड देयर इज गुड चांस कि इंडिया को एटलीस्ट 3 मेडल्स के चांसेस हैं, एंड 2 मेडल्स आर श्योर एकदम परफेक्टली बिकॉज सुमित अंतिल का मैच है F64 में, एंड इफ यू लुक एट द कॉम्पिटिशन इन F64, सुमित अंतिल एक तरफ है, बाकी सब एक तरफ है बिकॉज स्टार्ट लिस्ट पे भी मैंने देखा और पहले भी मैंने जो F64 की कैटेगरीज थी तो वहां पे सुमित अंतिल उनका पर्सनल बेस्ट है 72 मीटर प्लस, एंड जो उनके बाद सारे कॉम्पिटिशन है उन्होंने 50 भी नहीं टच किया, तो इतना बड़ा कॉम्पिटिशन गैप है. तो कहीं ना कहीं अभी इंडिया के 2 मेडल्स तो ऑलमोस्ट श्योर परफेक्ट हैं, 2 जैवलिन के मेडल हैं और अभी तक 6 मेडल्स आ चुके हैं. और फर्स्ट डे पे हमने देखा था शैलेश का मेडल आया था, दैट वाज हिस्टोरिक आल्सो. सो उन्होंने हाई जंप में मेडल लिया था एंड ही इट्स फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड चैंपियन एंड वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड होल्डर आल्सो. सो अभी तक तो आउटिंग बहुत बढ़िया चल रही है. फैंस का रिस्पांस ओपनिंग सेरेमनी में ठीक ठाक था बट राइट नाउ वी कैन नॉट से, बट आई थिंक बिल्डअप अभी चल रहा है. 2-3 दिन बाद आई थिंक थोड़े थोड़े ऑडियंस बढ़ती ही जा रही है, सो इट्स ओके.
All right, Shomik, over to you now. India, there was a optional practice session for the Indian team today. You wrote a piece, I read that as well. Of course, we'll talk about T. Dilip and everything that happened in the Asia Cup. But before that, your opening line to the article was Mohammad Siraj stumbled, had a mini stumble on the bus. Tell us about that. Because for a second I was. As soon as you say stumble, my mind goes back to Jasprit Bumrah twisting his ankle on the stairs of the Old Trafford dressing room and not being able to play.
Exactly. And even KL Rahul, who was in tow, he was also looked concerned. And he said easy. It was just a mini stumble. Siraj alighted from the bus. It was just a minor thing. And after that, everyone saw the funny side of it. But you rightly said, it happened. I covered a test match long ago. And Virender Sehwag, similarly, he slipped while coming down the stairs from the dressing room. And he missed the test match, Virender Sehwag. I covered the test match long ago. I can't recollect the venue, and Siraj, given that he's after the England series, he has become one of India's bowling royalties along with Jasprit Bumrah. So in that case, and also if they retain the grass cover today, what we have seen on the page, if they retain the grass cover, then both Jasprit Bumrah and Mohammad Siraj would be licking their lips.
Most definitely. Abhishek, tell us about the opening ceremony because I was back in Dubai. I couldn't be a part of it. I'm sure the viewers would also like to know because today as well we had the Women's World Cup opening ceremony where it was, a Zubin Garg tribute song. What was the World Para Athletics opening ceremony like?
Opening ceremony was, it was really nice. First, Mansukh Mandvi himself that inaugurated the warm-up track, and आपको शायद ही मतलब बहुत ही कम देखने को मिलता है दैट 2 मोंडो ट्रैक एक ही स्टेडियम के कॉम्प्लेक्स में मिले. and it was really nice to see that कि not only inside the JLN stadium but outdoor track के लिए warm up track के लिए कि athletes को देखते हुए that you know that if they are not uh, training in inside the ground बाहर भी क्योंकि बहुत से साल भर ट्रेनिंग चलती है तो उसको भी देखते लिए मद्देनजर रखते हुए तो वार्म अप ट्रैक बिछाया गया है मोन्डो अभी देख रहा हूँ काफी प्लेयर्स जो हैं वो प्रैक्टिस भी कर रहे हैं सो इट वाज रियली ब्यूटीफुल एंड आल्सो यहाँ पे एक जॉगिंग ट्रैक भी को भी उस दिन इनॉग्रेट किया गया था ओपनिंग सेरेमनी के दैट इज आल्सो नाइस एंड इनसाइड आल्सो द फर्स्ट डे रिस्पांस बहुत अच्छा था एज आई सेड दैट so opening ceremony was quite good and was some cultural performances and a lot of things happened then Mansukh Mandvi and all other gave some speeches and it was almost a good and Delhi का भी काफी support देखने को मिला था और क्या था
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल Shamik, can you go into the details of the practice session a little bit? I'm sure everyone's dying to know what really went down at the practice session. We saw Mohammad Siraj, we saw KL Rahul, and the others as well. So please give us the update.
It was a routine practice session, Gargi. I mean, like it happens before every test match day -2. Jasprit Bumrah and Akshar Patel didn't turn up. It was an optional practice session. That they're the two local boys. But then again, Jasprit Bumrah, Akshar Patel, Shubman Gill, and Kuldeep Yadav came here, arrived here around 12:30 a.m. 12:30 a.m. So absolutely, they were tired. Shubman Gill and Kuldeep still turned up for practice, but Akshar and obviously you can understand. I mean, they are the local boys. They will drop in at their home. They barely get a chance to spend time with their families, stuff like that. So from that point of view, nothing should be read into that. Tomorrow it is a full practice session, and both of them will join. And tomorrow, I think match day -1 will get to know, will get an idea about the playing combination, whether India will be going with free spinners or given the nature of the pitch, if they return the grass cover, will it be just two spinners and India would be tempted to play another fast bowler? That we'll have to see. In that, see, on the face of it, it is against the West Indies, so the pitch factor is pretty redundant here. Um, West Indies would do well, would do exceedingly well to take the test match to day 5. And in that case, even taking the test match to day 5, they will have to punch above their weight. So from that point of view, but India are a bit wary in terms of what happened last year against New Zealand in the home series. New Zealand are a far better team than the West Indies, but that is there on the back of the mind of the team management. Ajit Agarkar said this, that we don't want a repeat of the New Zealand series at the selection press conference. And going by the nature of the pitch, I mean, they are moving out of that bunts and rote Indian team management, because you never know when the pitch is a rank turner, it can become a lottery. With although West Indies doesn't have a spinner of that pedigree to speak of, but it can become a lottery. So from that point of view, if there is some spice on
तो आप लिखो
bowlers, the joining, and gradually it is becoming a good batting track, and India have the batting wherewithal to completely outbat their opponent. So from that case, the impression what I have got from the pitch is that the team management is quickly moving out of that bunts and route.
All right. Boria Mujumdar also joins us. Boria, Yogesh Katunia silver. We've got the practice session kicking off. Snehashish and Trisha are not able to join us because there's something going on ground at the Women's World Cup match, India versus Sri Lanka. India not off to the greatest start, but okay, the game is far from over. Your thoughts, because even if the Asia Cup ended, sports never comes to a standstill. And look at Rev Sports.
Absolutely. I mean, beautifully put actually. 47 for 1 in Guwahati. And the reason they have not been able to join is because they're in the press box, which makes a hell of a lot of sense. And Abhishek, try and go to Yogesh and tell him I called him silver man in Paris for a reason. He now needs to change. either win bronze or win gold. He cannot keep collecting silver. I know the price of silver has gone up to 1.5 lakh rupees a kg. I'm conscious of that. Gargi knows more about that, but gold has also gone up more. So Yogesh Katunia should aspire to gold now. The price of gold is at an all-time high. He can't just accumulate silver medals. I will call him and tell him today. But fantastic to see Paralympics coverage. Shomik, I saw Shomik stuff about the team arrival and all. Shomik, you've become a pro, man. Great. I mean, this is tremendous to see Shomik doing these kind of visuals. Gargi, good to see you back at home in Delhi, settled after some sleep. Here's Ashok having his fruit, by the way. So there he is. There he is. So the Dubai team, we just finished a long 1 hour challenging meeting with Sea Africa about the South Africa series. Just got over and instantly I joined. So for us, yes, Rev Sports, nothing ends. No sport ever ends. But tremendous stuff. Shomik, people are asking press conference today. Is there a press conference? Anything happening?
No, no press conference today. Today is an optional practice session. The two local boys, Bumrah and Akshar, are cooling their heels. Shubman, uh, they along with Shubman and Kuldeep landed in Ahmedabad 12:30 a.m. Um, it, Obviously, I mean, Bumrah and Akshar, the local boys, and they barely get a chance to spend time with their families. So this break is long overdue. Tomorrow they will join. Tomorrow, obviously, there will be a pre-match press conference, and overall overall it's a routine training session. It is sort of a routine training session. The intensity, the fervor is very, I mean, low, in the sense this is Navratri time in Ahmedabad, in Gujarat. Garba is more, I mean, it is an elongated evening with the garba beats and dances. So from that point of view, and yesterday I went to Manek Chowk to capture the city, to capture the sight and sound of the city around 12 midnight, and to bring that color to my preview or to my test match build-up. I spoke to Anil Patel, the GCS secretary, this morning, and he admitted that it's a pretty lukewarm response, and they are opening only the lower bowls, only the lower tiers of the stadium. Ticket prices are pretty low, in the sense, if you want to buy a season ticket, it is just 1000 rupees, the lowest, which means 200 rupees per day. But still, they are giving 20,000 tickets to schools and colleges, and they will also distribute tickets to local cricket academies to woo the youngsters. And Anil Bhai hoped that some youngsters, and now that the Indian team is in town, some youngsters will be interested. Then again, Navratri and the test match starts on the day of the Dasera. So from that point of view, let's see. And if there is an outside chance, but if West Indies can put up a fight, then the interest might increase a bit. But overall, it is pretty low key. You can see the surroundings. It is pretty low key. No one is even asking for tickets at my hotel reception. I asked the receptionist if he needs a ticket for the match, because I can provide a few spares. He said, "Sir, I am not at all interested. So I am not at all interested. I am immersed in these festivities." So that is that.
Yes, Gargi.
A series really doesn't have any interest when a journalist is not asked for tickets. Is this the first time, Shomik, that you've gone to a series and nobody asked for tickets?
So the reason
Exactly.
is Shomik will no longer have to have Sarvanash. That is the point.
Did you
No
have jalebi or
Sarvanash.
afra?
You will have jalebi. He will have all the mishti now. But on a different question, Abhishek and Gargi, both of you. Gargi, I know you will be covering it from tomorrow. Abhishek, you've been covering it for the last 3 days. Can we say 25 medals? Last time we won 19. Am I realistic in saying 25 medals is a possibility, which is what Devendra told me in Calcutta a week back? Can we say India will win 25 medals, or 25 medals is a kind of a realistic possibility? Abhishek, you go first, and then Gargi.
Surely, I mean, yeah, we can cross the 20 medal this time, and they will. Jadaria also said the same, that that we will cross the 20 this time. Hopefully, we have 6 medal already, and most probably we will add 2 or 3 in the evening session. So it is like around 9 today, and it's already going good for the Indian campaign. That wherever we have a chance, we are getting the medal. Yesterday, it was almost a podium sweep in the javelin category. Ajit was there. He missed out by whisker. He didn't get a good throw because he was not feeling well, but still he did a great job finishing fourth. So it was till now it is a great campaign so far for India. They have performed really good. It and Yogesh and Sumit. So when I met Sumit first, I asked him that I'm from Red Sports. I want to talk with you, and he said that where is Boria sir and Rohan sir, and it was like that. He was just asking for you. So it was lovely that he was just getting late for somewhere, and then he stopped. When I told him that I worked with Boria sir, he stopped over there and he talked me around 10 to 20 minutes. And he said that do the interview, and I recorded a 10-minute interview with him also. So it's a great thing that the para athlete also recognize the ref sports. They talk about us whenever anyone said that someone from ref sports, they stand and they talk to us, even if they are not free, even if they are just going for the practice. He was going for practice, but he skipped a minute and talked to me. So that was a very good thing when talking to a world champion, someone who has broke the 6-time world record 6 time, and it is still standing just for the rest sports. So that's what the impact of the sports also in the para sports.
You're on mute.
You've covered enough of para by now. You know that these people are friends of ours. But what Abhishek is saying is music to my ears.
Yeah.
Sumit again will possibly break. Who knows? I mean, Paris was a bit underwhelming with the 71 meters. His dream is to break 75. Yogesh once again winning a silver. By the way, Abhishek, ask Yogesh to give you that sweet that Gargi keeps getting for us and Yogesh keeps sending us. I don't know what is that local one, that
Doda.
brown डोडा बोट बर्फी आस्क हिम फॉर दैट से बोरियादा ने बोला है वो खिलाओ मुझे
ठीक
योगेश
है.
वो बहुत खिलाता है ही विल गिव यू दैट होल डब्बा you don't miss out on that. But Gargi, what are you looking for? 25 medals possibility before I go to Shomik?
I think it's a possibility. I think because we've already got 6 medals so far, and if you look at the competition, yes, especially I was looking at the competitors, and Abhishek also mentioned this earlier in the show. If you look at the competitors, Sumit Antil is throwing 70 plus, and the competitors are nowhere near. The maximum is, I think, 45, 46 meter throw. And that tells you how Sumit Antil is in his own league. And some of our para athletes haven't even started yet. I think Simran will soon compete. Preeti, I'm not sure if she's competed. I honestly haven't had a good look because we were in Dubai. But I'm quite excited to see both of them go out. I'm quite excited to see what the Paralympians do. I'm pretty sure that 25 is an achievable number.
Shomik, what Gautam, and I saw visuals of Gautam and Kuldeep, and you just mentioned also on the show that they've reached today. Uh, Very little time for a turnaround with 2 days, and West Indies has already lost Alzari and Shamar. What do you think? I mean, West Indies without an Alzari, without a Shamar, do they have the bowling lineup? Is there any way they can be competitive, or it will be a run over? Before I take some questions also, Shomik.
Ah, Jaden Sales is there, but West Indies will do. They will have to punch way above their weight to take the game to day 5. Um, Also, the pitch is not going to be a ranked turner. India made the mistake by producing ranked turners against New Zealand, which reduced the gap between the two sides. Given West Indies, the golf in class between India and West Indies, the pitch factor is somewhat redundant. And once again, and West Indies doesn't have a batting to speak of. They can be 74 no loss and 87 all out. So that this is West Indies cricket for you. These days, in a different format, they are losing to Nepal even. So you never know West Indies. Someone was telling me it might well be a 2-day test. I think that is stretching the limit a little too far. But as a reporter, I would say West Indies would do exceedingly well to take the game to day 5.
Cricketing, cricketing question for you, Gargi. World Test Championship means every test match is important, whether it is West Indies, whether it is any team. At home, you have to have that unblemished record because you know that there will be a. By the way, All of us also thought New Zealand would have been a easy victory at home.
Yeah,
It became
exactly.
3-0. So don't take any team for granted. Even if you lose one test match, all of a sudden that entire equation changes now with the WTC. So what are you expecting from India, Gargi? Full on intensity, as Shomik is saying, despite it being West Indies and despite it being a relatively low key series. Gautam Gambhir's India should do all of their experimentation following on the back of the England success, the red ball success in England. This is a series to build for India. Gargi?
Absolutely, this is a series to build, and you know what? You want to see a full intensity. You want to see an India go in with full planning, and you don't want complacency. Is what I'm trying to say. Because even Ryan and Doskate, when he came out for that press conference ahead of the India Bangladesh match, I believe in Dubai, he spoke about the India West Indies series, and he spoke about how important it is, and Ajit Agarkar as well, who said that considering the World Test Championship, no match is going to be taken lightly, and no match should be taken lightly, because every single point counts at this moment. Like you said, New Zealand as well. We thought that we've got a record where we haven't lost a home series in 12 years, so it's not going to happen again. We all of us just assume that, but New Zealand really ran through the Indian team. You don't want to see something like that again, and you don't want. I know that this West Indies side is very, very pretty weak compared to the Indian team, but at the same time, you don't want to undermine anything or anyone, because you never know what might happen. Sport is a great leveler, anything can happen, but India is far more superior. The focus should be here to win the series as dominatingly as possible.
Let's
Shomik,
last 8 minutes. Let's quickly take some. Yes, Shomik, answer on what? What's the answer? Shomik, answer on what? Arvind, what? Nitish or Padikal? Acha, okay. Nitish or Padikal or Aksar, who will play at 5 or 6? Shomik, do you have a answer for Arvind? Nitish or Padikal or Aksar, who will play?
See, the way the pitch is today, at least, I don't know whether the lawnmower will go on an overdrive tomorrow, which looks unlikely because I reiterate that India has decided to move out of the Bunsen route. Um, it is a tricky call whether to play three spinners or you play an additional fast bowler. If it is an additional fast bowler, that could well be Nitish Kumar Reddy on this pitch. So, given that, we'll have to wait for the training session on match day -1. That was where the playing 11 might take a little bit of shape. Devdutt Padikal, yes, Devdutt Padikal, he has been brought in. He has been brought in to play in place of Karun Nair. So he is expected to play. Nitish Reddy, if the pitch stays like this, then Nitish Reddy has a very, very good chance of playing. As of now, I don't know how if things will change tomorrow. But I have one more point to add, as we have been discussing about. See, first of all, Test cricket is Test cricket. West Indies or Bangladesh or Australia. But number two, litmus test. This home series is a litmus test. Piece on this for 4 p.m. for T. Dilip. I mean, India have become one of the worst catching sides in the world. 23 catches were dropped in England, and at the end of the was the difference between India winning the series or and eventually taking out a creditable draw. Dropped Asia Cup. What is the fielding? What is fielding coach T. Dilip doing? There has to be. He is answerable for that. In England, it was the slow. In Dubai, it was the Dubai Stadium's ring of fire. Lame excuses at this level. This is the highest level. You are expected to overcome those obstacles. So don't offer such lame excuses that sound pretty hollow. I mean, there is a course correction is needed after the Australia tour when the BCCI did a support staff regime. Um, Abhishek Nair and T. Dilip were handed P45s. Eventually, T. Dilip was reinstated. Did I mean over the last few months, as it turned out, maybe BCCI made a mistake, and I think if it continues like this, if catching continues to be India's bugbear, then BCCI will pull the plug sooner than rather than later.
Fair point. I mean, very, very strong words from Shumik, and I think he makes a lot of sense in the way he's mentioned about catching. Last few minutes on the show, because I know Abhishek has to go in. So, Abhishek, I'll let you go with one question. What are the events for this evening that you're looking forward to before I close the show with Gargi and Shumik for the next few minutes? What are the major highlights for this evening?
So the major highlights is Sumit Antil again this evening. That it's all about him. That he's going to throw in the F64 category, and the best part is that already that I also mentioned, Gorky also mentioned that yep, for 64 categories. I mean the field is so low. The reason is being that in Olympics or in some other events, all you will see that we have 44 guys also participate in this category. But here, as we have enough participant in, we have 44 category. That's why no F44 javelin thrower is competing in F64. So it's a plain field. It's an easy field for Sumit Antil, and most probably that he told me that he's targeting 75-meter today. And if he's targeting that, he's going to give a tough competition to most of the Indian able body thrower also that who was recording 72 or 74. And That's what is also his goal is also to go and compete in able body. So right now the biggest story is Sumit Antil. Everyone was waiting in, and a lot of fans because he's from Haryana. He trained here in the JLN Stadium. He started his journey from the JLN Stadium in 2017. Right now he trains in home district, but still there is a good connection. So people still relate with him here. Whoever trained, and Sumit Antil is a global star, global para star. That whoever knows about the para athletics knows about the Sumit Antil. There's no one. He's a legendary kind of figure. That Sumit Antil and Marcus Ramp, yeah, these two words, they're just playing in their own league. That's like Marcus Ramp has already crossed the 8.7 mark. So and same in Sumit also, that he's the one who has capability to cross the 75. And near future we can see that if everything goes well, that he can touch the 80 as well. So Sumit Antil is a highlight of the evening. Then they have 44 javelin category. Then there are some others. Uh, Good players, good para Olympic players from the overseas countries. But Sumit Antil is right now that everyone is talking about it. Everyone is waiting for his event at 7 p.m. People are just waiting that clock पे से 7 p.m. and event start हो जाए.
So Abhi, 1.5 hours, and he's absolutely right. I mean, this is exactly what I said. That Sumit Antil was claiming the 75 thing in Paris. Unfortunately, wasn't able to do it. It was 71 and a half. He's always claimed that he can do 75. And if he does 75, it will be historic. I mean, the fellow wants to do even 80 as far as his career is concerned. He's told us multiple times. An absolute ace athlete. He's in a league of his own, multiple world champion, Olympic champion, gold medalist. So Sumit Antil is in a league of his own. Abhishek Mishra, thank you very much for joining me. Shomik and Gargi, one question each. So, Abhishek, I can sort of let you go. You can go and enjoy the Sumit Antil experience and do the interview post that, and you will enjoy with Sumit, I'm sure, after he wins the gold medal. Really nice guy, but definitely tell Yogesh to give you that Doda Barfi. That is for me for you. Okay, thanks, Abhishek. Gargi and Shovik, two quick questions and then we can close. Good afternoon, Rishabh here. Great campaign by the Rev Sports team. Mohsin Naqvi should resign ACC chairman on moral ground. But he's asking for morality from someone who has no morality, Gargi.
I mean, if you leave the stadium with the trophy, I don't know what you can say anything anymore. And let's not even talk about those tweets that we saw, everything that happened behind the scene. Let's not even talk about that. Let's only talk about the fact that the ACC president left with the Asia Cup trophy and the rightful champions did not get to even hold it. I mean, if that doesn't warrant a removal, I don't know what does.
this is for our Bengali viewers. হাড় ভাঙা স্মৃতি চ্যালেঞ্জ শিল্ড ধন্যী মেয়েতে দিতে চায়নি। হ্যাঁ, ঠিক সেই রকম মহসিন নাকভি করেছে। ধন্যী মেয়ের কথা মনে পড়ে গেছিল আমার দেখে।
What?
Okay, to translate, Shomik, translate it for Gargi the
See,
Bangla.
there is a very popular Bengali movie called Dhonni Me. It is based on football. And Uttam Kumar was on the
One second. Dhoni may translates as able girl or
able
very
girl.
able girl, something like that.
So what happened? It's a local shield. It's a local challenge shield in a village, and the owner refused to hand over the shield despite losing the game. He tried every trick in his book and still lost to the Calcutta side. But then he refused to hand over the shield. So Mohsin Naqvi is Dhoni Mein Part 2. What he did in reels, it could be Dhoni Mein Part 2.
So that's what it is. Okay, last question. Gargi, India is 74 for 1 in 18. Trisha and Snehashish there. Pratika Rawal once again making a decent start, but relatively slowish, going at 4 and over. Harleen going at a faster strike rate, 70, close to that. About 250. I thought that Zubin Garg tribute at the opening, I just seen clips that Trisha was sending. I thought was very moving. Alison Mitchell tweeted about it, and I've asked Alison to talk to Trisha and Snehashish also. I think the Women's World Cup coverage will take off, but the match is not today. The match is on 5th of October. That's the match that we now have to see. Are you expecting the men's thing to be the same for women? Let's set the tone. Will the women do the handshake? No. Will Pakistan try and do that the weird celebrations again and disrespect the game? What is your take? 5 days later, it's India Pakistan again. Only the sex changes, but I think the intensity and the madness will continue even in the women's domain. Your thoughts to close the show?
Absolutely, absolutely, it will continue, and I don't think there will be any handshakes. I think the way that the Indian team has conducted themselves in the Asia Cup will continue in the Women's World Cup as well. Because remember, the board is the same. It's BCCI at the end of the day. I don't think they will change their stance just because it's the Women's World Cup now, and they shouldn't, because if they do that, then that's hypocrisy. uh, they should not do that at all. If they want to have a stand on something, especially when it comes to India Pakistan, it should extend to both the teams, men's and women's, and not just Asia Cup, because then that just looks performative.
Fair point. I mean, lots more questions. Unfortunately, we've got to close the show because the game is on, and Trisha and Snehashish are there. Shomik will report from Ahmedabad. All of the updates from the men's game. Gargi will report from Delhi from tomorrow. All of the updates from the Para World Championships. That's why she's gone back. Abhishek is already there in the stadium along with Jamin Bhatt, one of our colleagues and investors. Trisha and Snehashish. So there you go. That's the Red Sports deal. And by the way, Ashok, are you doing the auction tomorrow? You are? Okay, so we will also report back on the ILT20 auction, which is in Dubai tomorrow. So you will have a ground update from the ILT20 auction as well. So sport never stops. Mohsin Naqvi will never stop as well. But we will keep reporting on him, as Shomik says, in the Dhoni May style. To everyone watching, thank you very much. We will keep updating you on every possible development and what happens to that trophy. For the moment, Shomik and Gargi, thank you for joining us. And Gargi, thanks for starting the show as I was a little bit late. But to everybody else, keep following Red Sports, subscribe and get that notification bell of yours so that you don't miss on anything. Thanks for watching.